Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I want to talk to you guys about stress, how it affects the mind and the body, and some of the things that you can start implementing today to start reducing stress in your life. So I feel like everyone knows what stress is and we all experience stress in our everyday lives, but I don't think everyone is aware just how harmful stress can be on our body and our minds and our overall mental health. There are so many things in our environment these days that just stress us out, and it's almost become inevitable that there is something that will happen throughout our day that is bound to stress us out. Especially because the older we get, the more expenses we incur, the more responsibilities we have, the more things just keep piling up and up and up. We live such a busy life that it just ends up crazy. So if we don't handle our stress before it handles us, then we end up having a complete meltdown. So what is stress? Stress to me is something that affects us either emotionally, physically, mentally, in a negative way. So the stress hormone in our body is called cortisol, and it is the #1 health risk that leads to so many other conditions, so many other diseases that start to form in our body over time, and it affects almost every area of our life. So stress can lower our immune function and bone density. Stress can be the reason why we gain weight so easily, lose weight rapidly, and it can lead to so many other things: heart disease, raised cholesterol levels, mental illnesses, depression. It can even lower our life expectancy. There are just way too many side effects of stress for me to mention, but that is why it is so important that each and every one of us find some coping mechanisms or some strategies to better deal with stress. The cortisol hormone is released in our body as a response to fear or stress from the adrenal glands as part of the fight or flight mechanism. So there are two types of stresses, and they are called the eustress, which is the good stress, and distress, which is the bad stress. So in the eustress state, we are in a heightened state of arousal, which is often linked with a tangible goal, and our cortisol levels return back to normal once we have achieved that goal. For example, if you're about to do a performance in front of a lot of people, you feel nervous and you start to develop eustress. But once you have completed the performance and feel good that you have done it, that feeling of nervousness is gone and you're left with a heightened sense of endorphins, which is the happy hormone that makes us feel good. Distress is associated with that anxiety feeling and a heightened sense of either fear, frustration, or panic. When we are in this state, our bodies are not producing an outlet for the cortisol to go away, and instead our bodies hold on to this cortisol, which then starts to affect our bodies and mind and overall our health and well-being. Medical and health conditions start to slowly form in our bodies over time if we are constantly in a state of distress. So listen, you guys, sometimes me and my husband fight about who is stressed more, and it is so ridiculous that sometimes we fight over the most smallest things. But we have to all remember that stress affects us all in different ways. Not all of us have the same coping mechanisms, the same strategies, and we don't all deal with stress the same way. I mention this because I want you guys to start being more mindful in your everyday lives and realize that you are not the only one that gets stressed. Everyone gets stressed, but there are ways around it and there are ways that we can deal with it effectively. So I'm going to share about 15 tips with you guys on how you can better handle your stress. Some of these tips you may have heard of before, some of these tips you may have not. If I have left anything out, or if you have any other great tips, please leave them in the comments below so we can all share our tips together. So tip number 1. Create a safe environment. What do I mean by this? If you are surrounded by people who are always negative or bring you down or just overall aren't good for your mental health and emotional well-being, what the hell are you doing? It's time to switch up your environment. You need to do what's best for you in order to be at your best around other people. Of course, being a health coach, I'm going to mention that exercise and nutrition are the #1 most important, vital, essential thing that you can start implementing into your everyday life. Have you ever noticed that when you're stressed, frustrated, or even angry, and you go to a boxing class, or you go to the gym, or go for a run around the block, have you noticed how you feel after this? Like you've just released all of that stress, anger, and frustration, and you have more of a clear head. If you haven't tried this, try it and tell me I'm wrong. Also notice how you feel after you eat, for example, a large McDonald's meal or a packet of chips or an ice cream. You may feel good for a second or two, but that feeling of disgusting slowly starts to creep in. How do you feel after you eat a salad or a source of protein or maybe some fruit, chia pudding? I guarantee it won't be, I wish I didn't eat that disgustingly healthy salad. I'm not saying that you have to go work out, switch your diet every time that you feel stressed, but I am saying to start implementing some lifestyle changes and forming these into habits so that when a time of stress hits you, you automatically know what can make you feel good. For me personally, I love dancing, I love martial arts, I love going for runs, walking my dogs, getting creative, filling my body with healthy fats, and even drinking kombucha, which is very gut friendly and a great probiotic drink, which is sort of like a soda replacement for me. I know this tip isn't for everyone, but I recommend to take at least 10 minutes out of your day to meditate. There are a lot of different types of meditation out there, and the ones that I personally love are guided meditations because my mind likes to wander quite easily, but if I'm somewhere quiet listening to someone guide me through on what I should be focusing on, it just makes me feel a whole lot better. If you are someone that is not into meditation, I recommend 5 minutes of deep breathing every single day. We all get stressed in the heat of the moment, but I want you to be mindful and to take 10 deep breaths before you react to any stressful situation. My next tip is just to find a hobby. Find something that you're passionate about that makes you smile. And for me, this is photography. I love learning about photography, videography, in this case, trying to take a selfie with my dog, but hopefully over time I'll get better with this new camera that I bought, as it's something that I really just enjoy doing whenever I have the spare time. My next tip is to take some supplements. Now, I work alongside a naturopath who I've been going to for years, and he is awesome in finding out the best supplements that are good for my body. As you know, I have suffered from an autoimmune condition for several years now, so everything that you see here is approved from my naturopath. Now, if you're looking to boost your immune system, boost your health, overall health, I highly recommend to either see a naturopath, see your doctor or health professional that will help guide you in the best supplements to take for you and your body. What better way to de-stress than to chill and watch a comedy with your dog? I don't get that much time to watch TV, and usually I'm more of a bookworm, but there is just something about being able to switch off from the world and lose yourself in a funny movie that is definitely good for your soul. The next tip is to learn something new or listen to a podcast. I listen to podcasts on a daily basis because I'm just someone that just loves to learn, especially if you are trying to build a business or perhaps just want to learn an extra skill for a side hustle and extra income on the side. Podcasts are just my go-to and my way of learning new concepts. I like to listen to podcasts while I go for long walks, either by myself, with my dogs, with my cats, or with my husband. The next tip just sort of follows on from my last tip, and that is to listen to music. I'm someone that loves to go to new places and explore new places. I love bushwalking and hiking, and usually when I'm doing this, I'm either listening to a podcast or some good music to enjoy the walk. So this next tip is due to my obsession of being super productive, and that is journaling and organizing my day, week, and month. I am such a huge planner, and for me, it's the only way that I can stay on top of everything I need to do and make the most out of the time that I have. Next is to reduce your amount of caffeine and sugary foods. A coffee and a banana bread with dairy-free chocolate and strawberries is seriously the best, but it's only my once a week treat. I'm definitely a huge tea lover, and I find that tea just relaxes me and it doesn't leave me feeling bloated. The next tip is so important, and that is to always express gratitude for the people in your life who you love and whom love you also. Every day I wake up and I thank God for all my blessings and for giving me more than I could ever have asked for in this life. I truly believe an attitude of gratitude is the key to all happiness. And the second last thing is to learn to be someone that thinks strategically and become a problem solver. This is where mindfulness comes in, and if you're faced with a stressful situation, instead of automatically reacting, take a moment to take a deep breath and think, how can I tackle this problem or situation? And what I like to do is take a list of the positives and negatives, what I can do now, and what needs to be done over time in order to get the result that I want. don't forget to write out the result that you are after. Not only does this help to develop and exercise your brain, but if you can make this into a habit and influence others to do this as well, you will find that stress is a thing of the past. And the last tip that I have for you guys, listen, if you guys are really struggling with anything that is going on in your life, know that it is okay to ask for help. There are so many free resources these days that we can turn to, and it's all about getting resourceful. You can call Lifeline. There's even online counseling available. You can see a psychologist. You can hire a health coach. You can hire a nutritionist. Did I mention that you can hire a health coach, a wellness coach? No matter what you are faced with, what you're going through, what you're dealing with at the moment, there is always someone out there willing to help you. There's always resources out there online. You can follow some blogs. You can watch some YouTube. You can read some books, go to the library. There are just so many ways that you can live a healthier and happier life. So there is nothing stopping you from living your best life possible. Just don't be the only thing getting in your own way. So that's it guys for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you also got something out of it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.